Hello, good afternoon and welcome race fans. Here we are back in Brno on this beautiful racing facility called Masaryk Circuit or Automotodrom Brno if you wish. Newly resurfaced this spring for the MotoGP comeback, which took place in July, but here we are again for the second race of the weekend of Renault Clio Cup Bohemia. Let's get ready for the starting grid here. And as I said, it is the second race of the Saturday here, which means we've already witnessed the first race, which was quite exciting, I must say. And in the end, it was Bartolomiej Miretsky winning the fifth race in a row. So it was absolutely great race for Bartolomiej Miretsky and his title hopes, let's say, because before this race weekend, Bartolomiej Miretsky was in second place behind Tomáš Pekař. This time it will be Matic Pressure starting from the pole position alongside Alexander Špec. Tomáš Pekař starting from the third place ahead of Nikodem Sobčik, Julian Smichovsky together with Niko Wist, Severi Onyrodka alongside Reto Wist, Filip Zivok in P9, and Oskar Marszalkowski will be starting the race from the 10th place, just ahead of Miha Prihožič and Luka Glazer, two Slovenian drivers racing also in the Slovenian Championship and starting from P11 and P12 respectively. Simon Sodník and Dejan Robida, then Ivan Prantner, another Czech driver, alongside his countryman Filip Bartoš, then Walter Nežič, Ivan Gustin, two Croatian guys, Tomislav Jaklin starting the race from a P19, P21 to Vladimir Jaklin, P22 to Bartolomiej Miretsky, and P23 to Nick Poljanec. For Bartolomiej Miretsky, this is going to be quite a challenge, starting from the back of the grid, so it actually won't be easy for the main opponent of Tomáš Pekař in the championship fight to make it through the grid, to make it through the field and fight for the podium again. But of course we have to wait and see what's going to happen. It will be another 25 minutes of exciting racing, I do believe. And you can see that the pace car has been released, which means the grid is going to be cleared in a few moments. You can see the media representatives and also the guests already moving away from the starting grid, so we are just a minute away from the start of the second race here in Brno, here on a Masaryk Circuit. 4 minutes 20 seconds until the start of the formation lap, and again this will be a standing start for Renault Clio Cup Bohemia. So again we are going to witness amazing and exciting sprint from the starting grid towards the first corner of a Brno circuit. Well, so far in this season it was a great season by two drivers, Tomáš Pekař and Bartolomiej Miretsky, of course. Before Brno, it was Tomáš Pekař who was leading the championship with 162 points to his name, and it was Bartolomiej Miretsky back there in the second place with 155 points. But the situation might going to change after the racing here on Masaryk Circuit. As I told you already, Tomáš Pekař finished the first race in P3. And on the other hand, it was Bartolomiej Miretsky who won the race. As I said, his fifth in a row, so the second half of the season is absolutely wonderful. If we speak about the Polish guy Bartolomiej Miretsky. 25 points plus, that means Bartolomiej Miretsky has now 180 points to his name, and if we do the calculation also with Tomáš Pekař, he took 15 points for the third place in the first race. It means he now has 177. It means only one thing. The Bartolomew Morecki is the new championship leader after the first race of Clio Cup Bohemia here in Brno. And that's quite cool, that's quite challenging, and it only promises very, very exciting season final. The second race today, and then we have only 2 races left, both on Balaton Park, the brand new Hungarian racing facility, actually also the new home to MotoGP Hungarian Grand Prix and to World Superbike Championship in Hungary. So it's a brand new racing circuit, nice facility, just next to the famous Balaton Lake, one of the most famous holiday areas in Hungary. So this will be the stage for the season final. But first, we need to find out who is going to be the winner of the second race here in Brno. Nico Wist with number 46. Again, you can't miss his car in bright yellow colors. Together with Reto Wist, of course, racing in Clio Cup Bohemia for some time now. We know these 2 guys very well also from the previous years. These are very familiar orange colors of Carpek Service. This is Bartosz with number 24, the teammate of Tomáš Pekář, who is of course racing for his own team Carpek Service. And you can see number 10 being pushed off the grid. If I'm right, this must be one of the Slovenians. Yes, it's Lema Racing, Luka Glaser. So most likely there was a problem, and Luka Glaser should be allowed to start the race from the pit lane. So at last he will be allowed to join the race, or he will join the formation lap, and then he will be able to join his place on the grid again. Let's wait and see. Yes, he's going to park at the end of the pit lane, and he will be released after the whole field cleans the grid, which is happening right now. So a small drama for the Slovenian driver Luka Glaser. But as I said, it looks to me that he's going to be allowed to take a part in this race, and that's of course the crucial thing for him. So the sighting lap is on. Formation lap, or shall I say, is underway, but I might rather say sighting lap, because we are going to have a standing start, not the flying start here. And it will be the Slovenian driver Matic Presa starting the race from the pole position here in Brno. So all the pressure is on Matic Presa at the moment, because he will be the first guy racing towards the first corner here, and it's always a bit challenging. Matic Presa currently in P8 in the championship standings. Still waiting for the first overall podium, so that's the goal, that's the challenge for the young Slovenian. Matic Prša in 8th place in the championship standings with 41 points to his name, so he can fight for the first top 3 in the season, and I'm sure he's gonna do everything he can to achieve this goal here in Brno. But again, it will be extremely challenging, extremely tough race with a lot of strong opponents behind him. Most of all, he should be worried about Tomáš Pekař, starting from the 3rd place. As you can see, the orange car with number 1 on the body kit. This is the guy who is often the fastest of them all. And I'm so curious about Julian Smiechowski, starting from the 5th place. What he is going to be capable of in this race. And I'm even more curious about Bartolomiej Morecki, starting from the 22nd place on the grid. Because for him, this will be one big fight for gaining as many positions as possible in this race. As I told you already by my calculations, he is the new championship leader after the first race here in Brno. You can see the nice Czech flag on the roof of Tomáš Pekař's car, starting from the 3rd place. So it is again a Matic Prša starting from pole position. It is the number 97, which means the Slovenian team Lema Racing, also ever present in Twingo Cup. We are waiting for the last drivers to take their spots on the starting grid. We do have the green flag. We can see the 5 reds lights now. Lights are out and we are racing for the 2nd time here in Brno, and it was a good start by Matic Prša. The Slovenian driver is in the lead, but look at Tomáš Pekař. The Czech driver is trying to find his way through the inside line. Good start by Tomáš Pekař, but Julian Smiechowski is the new race leader. Julian Smiechowski has been starting the race from the 5th place, and already through the first corner he made it from the 5th place into the lead. So what a start by Julian Smiechowski, who is the new race leader with number 68 on his car. This was amazing job, amazing starting reaction done by the driver of Janík Motorsport, but the battle is on for the 1st place between Smiechowski and Pekař. Pekař was trying to go from the outside, but he wasn't successful. One car has spun around in the back of the grid. Here it is with number 28, I believe. It should be Peter Palotas, the Hungarian driver, but he is able to rejoin the race, so no safety car, no neutralization necessary here, and we are still going green for the first time through the C section, through the famous stadium section here in Brno, under the C grandstand, the most famous place of Brno circuit, the most popular place among all the racing fans visiting the Brno circuit for races. We have fully packed the main grandstand on the main straight, alongside the main straight, and also we have many fans watching the races, the whole Masaryk Racing Days event from the C grandstand, because you can see almost 5 corners from one place, from the one spot, and that's of course very, very good if you are the race fan and you want to see as much racing action as possible. And here we are again on the main straight. Not really, not yet of course. We need to firstly climb up to the final chicane, I apologize. So here we are in the final chicane of Brno circuit. The last corner to the right, and we will be on the main straight again, and let's watch for the gap between Julian Smiechowski and Tomáš Pekař. So There are 7/10 of a second between these two drivers, so Smiechowski is leading the way ahead of Pekka Spets in third place. Nikodem Sobchik in P4. Matic Presa started the race from the pole position and he is in fifth place now. Oskar Marszalkowski in P6, Filip Zivok in P7, and Bartolomiej Morecki, ladies and gentlemen, already in eighth place. What a great first lap done by Bartolomiej Morecki. I told you earlier that for him it will be the challenge to gain as many places as possible, and he was starting the race from the 22nd place on the grid and he gained 14 places around the first lap of the race. So we do have Bartolomiej Morecki already in 8th place, and look for the number 96, because that is Bartolomiej Morecki making his comeback, and this could be amazing comeback. It's a 96 Renault Clio Cup car entered by BM Racing Team, and again Bartolomiej Morecki is showing to the rest of the field what he is really capable of here in Brno, but not only in Brno, in the Renault Clio Cup Bohemia in general. And there was a spin. Number 21, I believe, yes, the Slovenian driver Miha Primožič, racing for Lema Racing. So Miha Primožič spun around and he ended up in the gravel zone, and I hope he is not stuck in there, because otherwise we might have a safety car on the racing track here. But let's wait and see. In a general, of course, it was the unfortunate moment for the Slovenian driver Miha Primožič, racing for Lema Racing, and safety car is on the track. Safety car is on the track. Also, we have the starting procedure under investigation for possible rules violation. So things are happening quickly at the moment. Miha Primožič is stuck in the gravel. I would say that the marshals just will be unable to do anything about it. We have to call for money to help Primožič's car out of the gravel zone. What unfortunate situations, but yes, we are under safety car here. So Julian Smiechowski, with 19 minutes and 40 seconds to go, is leading the race behind the safety car ahead of the Czech driver Tomáš Pekař. So it's the Polish driver leading the race ahead of the Czech local hero. But of course the home soil for Tomáš Pekař would be Most Circuit, not Brno, because he lives in Mělník, so close to Most. But of course Tomáš Pekař is a Czech racer, so he always wants to do well on Czech racing tracks in front of the Czech fans. It's very important to also bring some joy for the fans, because they want to celebrate the Czech race winner. Nikodem Sobchik in third place, Alexander Spets in fifth, in fourth, apology. Bartolomiej Morecki is already in fifth. So just before the safety car has been released, Bartolomiej Morecki gained another place and he is in a fifth place already. And maybe the safety car is giving the chance to Bartolomiej Morecki to fight for the win today again. We can't rule out that Bartolomiej Morecki will be there again fighting for the sixth win in a row, because we have no more gaps. The gaps has been deleted after the safety car was released, so we have the whole field together. You can see the marshals here trying to get the grey Clio out of the gravel zone, and you can see that they are working mostly at the front of the car, because these Renault Clio Club cars are front-engined, so the front wheels are those which mostly get stuck in the gravel if the driver is trying to push himself out of the gravel zone. So this was the case. So thank you very much to the marshals. Great job by the Orange Angels. So Miha Primožič back on the racetrack, and I believe he's waving to the driver of the rescue car just to stop and to pull over, because I believe the car is basically fine. So he just want to rejoin the race, but actually I'm not sure if he is allowed to do so, because he used some help from the track marshals. So maybe this is the end for Miha Primožič. So it is the car number 97 under investigation for the starting procedure. So Matic Pressure is under investigation for possible rule violation during the start of the race. So hopefully there will be no penalization or no penalty for the Slovenian driver, as it would ruin his race. He is in P6 now, and we only have 16 minutes left. So in these short sprint races, you just can't do any mistakes, otherwise it costs you a lot. So at last, one more lap behind the safety car. I can also see the track marshals working on cleaning of the track in the corner where the Slovenian driver Miha Primožič went out into the gravel zone. We have some gravel on the tarmac, so the track marshals are just making sure that the track will be safe for racing again. So again, thank you very much to the track marshals, not only in Brno, but also all over the world, because the racing wouldn't be possible, of course, without them. So, the Miha Primožič is entering the pit lane behind the rescue car of the Czech Auto Club. And as I said previously, I believe he won't be allowed to join the race again, because he took some help from the marshals, and I'm not sure, but I think the rules are clear here. So this might be the end for Miha Primožič. Very unfortunate, because it was after the contact with other car, spinning around, ending up in the gravel zone, and the car wasn't badly damaged, no way. It was just a bit of bad luck here. As you can see, the safety car is pulling away already, so we are going to restart the race anytime soon. Safety car is pulling away quickly. Yes, it has been confirmed by the race control. Safety car in this lap. So we are going to be racing in Brno again with some 13 minutes to go. So the challenge now is starting for Tomáš Pekař, who is there in position to fight for the victory against Julian Smiechowski. Safety car enters the pit lane, and we are only waiting for the green flag here in Brno again. We are in the final chicane, and the green flag is out, and we are racing again. It was a good restart by Julian Smiechowski. Look at the gap between Smiechowski and Pekař. On the other hand, there is Tomáš Pekař under pressure from Nikodem Sobčík, who is trying to find his way ahead of the Czech racer, but not this time. So Nikodem Sobčík still in the third place here. Smiechowski leading the way ahead of Pekař, then it's Sobčík, then it's Sept. Mirecki in fifth place ahead of Matic Pressure, still under the investigation because of the starting procedure. Marszalkowski in seventh place, Zivok in P8, Sodnik in P9, but not anymore. Sodnik is in P10, Zivok in P9 and Marszalkowski in P8. So these are the new standings at the end of the top 10 with 12.5 minutes to go. And this time I would say that Tomáš Pekař is trying to find his pace He's trying to find his momentum, and he wants to be ready to overtake Julian Smiechowski. This won't be an easy job for the Polish driver, who finished in second place. Yes, in the first race it was Mirecki ahead of Smiechowski. Well, and actually in the final results I have a correction. There was most likely some kind of penalty, because Tomáš Pekař in final results of the first race is in fourth place, which means the situation for Mirecki in the overall standings is even better. The gap is larger, and yes, Bartolomiej Mirecki is of course the new championship leader after the first race. So the final classification, as I'm checking it now, of the first race is Mirecki in P1, Smiechowski in P2, Sobczyk in P3 and Pekař in P4. So Tomáš Pekař has been stripped of the podium finish after the first race earlier today. So bad luck for Tomáš Pekař, and I believe it only means that he wants to win this race even more badly than the first race earlier today. Here we are again on the main straight with still 11 minutes to go. The battle is on between Julian Smiechowski and Tomáš Pekař. He's trying to find a way from the outside, now from the inside, no space here. Good job, good defensive job done by Smiechowski. Still, we have the car of Janik Motorsport leading the race. So it is Smiechowski in the first place, but this will be extremely difficult for him. And the next corner is to the right side, and Pekař is trying to find his way through the inside. Not this time, he just wasn't close enough to attack Julian Smiechowski. So Tomáš Pekař still in the second place here in Brno during the second race of Renault Clio Cup Bohemia. We also have the investigation of the incident between 27 and 555. 27, that's Jan Raška, and 555, that's Simon Sodnik. So there was a contact between these two drivers. My apology and thank you to the director. It's number 21 who is being under investigation for the collision, and yes, of course, that's Miha Primožič. That makes the sense, because we saw Miha Primožič going off the track into the gravel, and it was after the contact with number 555 of Simon Sodnik. So it was a clash of two Slovenian drivers, and the incident is under investigation now. So possibly there can be some penalty applied to number 555. So Simon Sodnik is in danger of a penalty. 9 minutes to go, and another great battle. Number 26, that's Oskar Marszałkowski, and I believe he overtook Nico Wist. So Oskar Marszałkowski should be in 6th place now. And we have a Reto Wist here fighting Filip Zivok for 9th place. So both Wist guys racing hardly now, but let's be focused on the fight for the first place. Smiechowski, Pekař, Sobczyk, Mirecki. Mirecki already in the 4th place, and he is putting Nikodem Sobczyk under pressure. And Pekař goes for the inside again, but again not close enough to fight or to overtake. Well, this is a tricky place. Maybe the better chance will be to go from the outside in the following corner. It's also possible. Now, there was a better exit from that corner done by Pekař, and he's going from the outside to the following corner. Great defensive job done by Smiechowski again, but now Pekař also needs to be super cautious, as he has Nikodem Sobczyk with car number 777 closely behind him. This is amazing fight for the first place here in Brno with 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And there is the fight, Marszalkowski with number 26. That's the second car entered by Janik Motorsport, and it's number 46 behind him. So the battle is on between Oskar Marszalkowski and Retovist, and behind them it should be with number 24 Filip Zivok. Yes, another orange car. So this is nice battle for 6th, 7th and 8th place between Marszalkowski, Wist and Zivok. Filip Zivok, of course, the teammate of Tomáš Pekař, and the number 97 has 10 seconds penalty for jump start. Oh wow, that's a pity for Matic Pressure. Matic Pressure was originally starting the race from pole position, and that's pretty unfortunate for him. He was so motivated to start the race well, but he jumped the start and now he has been given 10 seconds penalty. Right now Matic Pressure is there in 10th place, but look at this battle. Pekař is going from the outside into the first corner. Nice fight for the first place between Pekař and Smiechowski, and Smiechowski is still in the lead. Great job by Julian Smiechowski, who is still keeping the Czech hero Tomáš Pekař behind his back. But there will be another chance again into the third corner of the racetrack here in Brno. So this time maybe he is going to try it from the outside now. Not close enough to fight Smiechowski for the first place, but also follow the other two cars. And that's Mirecki. Mirecki already in third place ahead of Nikodem Sobčík. So we already have Bartolomiej Mirecki in third place after starting the race from P22. Amazing job done by Bartolomiej Mirecki. And now, as I said previously, he is again in the striking position to fight for the race victory. And it could be the 6th race which he is going to win in a row. But it will be extremely tough. It will be extremely tough. But maybe we will see some hard battle between Smiechowski and Pekař, which will open the door for Mirecki. But let's wait and see. We still have 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and it can't be any closer between the top 3 drivers. Smiechowski is doing everything he can to keep Pekař behind him. He left no space at the inside line, and here we are climbing up into the final chicane of the racetrack again. Smiechowski is in the lead ahead of Pekař, and he's so close, This time it might work for him. Not yet. So maybe Tomáš Pekař wants to have the best exit possible from the last corner, just to prepare his striking position towards the first corner. So let's wait and see. Here we are on the main straight again, but not this time, not close enough for Pekař. So Smiechowski still leads ahead of Pekař. Mirecki in third place, Sobčík in P4, and Sobčík is also not giving up on the podium fight, possibly on a race win fight. He's still closely behind Mirecki. So we do have 3 Polish driver and a Czech hero Tomáš Pekař racing each other for the race win, and Pekař goes for the inside here. Not this time. Again, he wasn't successful, and we almost had 3-way battle into this corner. We almost had 3-wide battle between Smiechowski, Pekař and Mirecki, because also Mirecki has been looking for the inside line, and this was dangerous. Mostly for Smiechowski, because he was there in the danger of being collected by these 2 drivers behind him. But fortunately nothing has happened, no contact, and we are still racing hard. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go, which means this is the second to last lap. So not many chances has left for these 4 drivers fighting each other for the race win here. And again, the Clio Cup Bohemia just delivers amazing racing. I believe Oliver race fans joining us all over the world are just enjoying this. This is the cup racing at its best. Maybe this was too wide for Smiechowski, but he closed the door. No space for Pekarz. But the battle is absolutely on with 2 minutes to go. Now to the left-hand side, and let's start the climb. Let's climb up into the final chicane. Now Tomáš Pekarz is using the slipstream behind Julian Smiechowski. He's just trying to be as clean as possible, following the racing line to have the best exit possible from the last corner onto the main straight. Here we are, the main straight of Brno circuit. The last lap of the race is here with 1 minute and a half to go. Again, he tries to go from the outside, but Julian Smiechowski is very much aware of his opponent behind him. But what about now? We are going towards the third corner, and also Bartolomiej Mirecki is close now. So this might be the spot, this might be the place for Tomáš Pekarz. It's side by side, and this time he goes into the lead. Yes! So Tomáš Pekarz did it! In the last lap of the race, Tomáš Pekarz takes the lead of the race, and the battle goes on! The battle goes on between Pekarz and Smiechowski. Now Pekarz is being pushed out of the track, and we have a free-wide battle for the win between Mirecki, Pekarz and Smiechowski, and also Sobčík behind them in P4. What a fight for the race win here! Pekarz leads, Mirecki is in second place, then it is Sobčík, and Sobčík is being overtaken now by Smiechowski, so Smiechowski is there in third place. But what a battle we have! What a great battle! So again, so much excitement in racing Clio Cup cars. 10 seconds to go, of course. This is the last lap of the race, and the Czech hero Tomáš Pekarz is leading the race with the last minute pass. Last lap pass for winning the race, and this might be good for Tomáš Pekarz because he has a gap. It's not a large gap, but it's a decent gap between him and Bartolomiej Mirecki in second place. And I would say that Bartolomiej Mirecki has to be worried about Julian Smiechowski, who is going through the inside line here. So it was almost a touch between Mirecki and Smiechowski, and now Smiechowski is losing places. It wasn't a smart move. He made a mistake, Julian Smiechowski made a mistake, and he's going to lose the podium finish. What a pity for Smiechowski, so let's wait and see. Let's wait for the checkered flag. Here we are on the main straight. The checkered flag is out, and Tomáš Pekarz wins the second race of Renault Clio Cup Bohemia here in Brno. Bartolomiej Mirecki takes the second place, and after all, it is, believe it or not, Alexander Sept in the third place after amazing finish. So Alexander Sept, the Swedish driver, in third place ahead of Nikodem Sobčík, finishing the race in fifth, and Julian Smiechowski is in fifth. Sorry, Sobčík of course in fourth place, but Julian Smiechowski is in fifth place after he lost 2 places while he was climbing up the final straight just before the final chicane. So it's a disastrous final lap for Julian Smiechowski. He started the final lap as the race leader, and in the end he was only fifth. What a race! What a race again. So Tomáš Pekarz is the race 2 winner, ahead of Bartolomiej Mirecki. Alexander Sept in third place, Nikodem Sobčík in fourth, Smiechowski in fifth, Marszalkowski in sixth, P7 for Filip Dzivok, Matic Presha in P8, Xaveri Osolinski-Nierodka in P9, and Filip Bartosz in P10. We have the car 666 in the gravel zone. That's Vladimir Jaklin, one of the Croatian drivers, so there was a problem during the last lap of the race actually. Behind Osolinski-Nierodka, Filip Bartosz finished the race in P11, Simon Codnik in P12. So thank you very much for the highlights for the race it was. Let's finish with the standings. It was Simon Sodnik in 13th place, Dejan Robida in P14, Nick Poljanec in P15, Luka Glaser in P16, Ivan Brantner finished race in 17th place, Ivan Gustin in 18th, Tomislav Jaklin in P19, Walter Nežič in P20, Petr Palotas in P21, Vladimir Jaklin in P22 and Miha Primožič in P23, or not classified, which will be decided later. Otherwise, it was a great race and great victory done by Tomáš Pekař. Thank you very much for joining me again, and let's get ready for more racing action in the minutes to come. Thank you very much.